Good morning, everyone. This is Suzanne with Tuesdays with Suzanne. And I'd like to talk today about a particular kind of visiting of our own inner oasis, ground and fill, that has to do with the time of year that we are experiencing here in Reston, Virginia right now. We just had snow yesterday, and it was quite lovely. You can see this picture of the backyard. Thank you, Carol. And so it's a time of year here, where the human urge is to snuggle in, drop inside, wrap a soft blanket around yourself, let yourself rest back a little bit and refill. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. And one of the things that I do with this is I have some kind of a hot drink. It could be coffee, it could be, mine is tea, is a chowa green tea, could be cacao. But it's a time when you really want to take the time to slow down and stir your tea and let it settle in with you. So I often sit with a cup of something warm in circumstances like this. And I make sure that I'm drinking something that is life-enhancing, that's good for me, and then I work from there with what it feels like inside and what I need more of. So let's take a moment this morning. Let your eyes close. Make sure your soles of your feet are on the floor, that you're seated comfortably wherever you are. You could do this exercise standing, absolutely, but you want the soles of your feet on the floor, not to be curled under yourself in lotus position with your feet and legs, but to have a full flow from the soles of your feet right up through your body. Okay. So once you've gotten that position, allow yourself to sink in and to drop back and notice the sensations inside on this day, whatever they are. We all breathe, and we all breathe all the time. So begin by just noticing your breath and the rise and fall of your chest. Noticing the movements of breath on your system. Good, good. And as you breathe, noticing that as you sit with your breath and sink inside, that you can begin to breathe at deeper and deeper levels through your torso. So you may begin to be able to feel the sensation of your belly rising and falling as you inhale and exhale. Good. And then there you are in your pelvis. Notice what your sitting bones feel like. Get curious. I'm noticing that one of my sitting bones is resting more fully on the chair than the other one. One of them feels a little curled up. And even as I say that, I can feel my sitting bone softening, and the one that was curled is uncurling. And notice what you notice in your own pelvis as you sit with it. And then noticing your thighs. What's the sensation of the bones in your legs, all the way out to your skin, your knees, your calves. Noticing the sensation of the soles of your feet on the floor. Good. Good. And sinking in. Deeper and deeper. In weather like what we're having outside, one of the first things my system wants to do is to sink into my deepest recesses, which are the bones of who we are, our bones. All of our bones have air spaces, or we'd all weigh 800 pounds. And so in my mind's eye, I allow myself to breathe into my bones, so that with every breath, I'm filling more of the air spaces in my bones. With each exhale, I'm letting go of what I no longer need. So allow yourself to sink in really, really deeply now as you breathe with each breath, sinking deeper into your bones. With each exhale, letting go of what you no longer need. And you can take a moment and think about, where do you want to begin in your bones? Personally, I like breathing deep into my heart, back into my spine, behind my heart. And then as I breathe, I let each segment of my spine fill. I let my whole pelvis fill, my ribs, the bones of my hands and arms. You can do it at whatever pace, in whatever way that it works best for you. But we're going to play with this for a few minutes. And I'll describe what I'm feeling. You can do whatever works best for you. So with your eyes remaining closed, on my first breath here in this process, I'm going to allow myself to sink into the sensations in my heart and my lungs. And then back into my spine, feeling my spine behind my heart, maybe 2 or 3 levels of my spine. And then letting my spine fill a little more above and below the area of the heart. And then, as my whole thoracic area is filling, I let my ribs fill. And the bones that form your scapulae, those wings. Good. And then allowing, as your lower back fills, allowing your whole pelvis to fill. Those big sturdy bones that form the pelvis, pelvic bowl, I think of it. And as my pelvis fills, I'm letting my clavicles and my shoulder girdle fill right on down into my arms, hands, and fingers. Taking this at a pace that works for you. And then I'm going to take my awareness. You can take yours wherever you want to. But I'm taking my awareness down into the bones of my legs, all the way down into the bones of my feet and my connection to the earth through the gravitational field. With each breath, filling the deep inner recesses of your bones. And with each exhale, letting go of what you no longer need. And then allowing my neck and my jaw and my face, my whole cranium, all my cranial bones to fill and be nourished with whatever sensation would nourish them most this morning. Life-giving, nourishing, refilling sensation. And whenever you get to the point that you feel like all of your bones are as full as they can be to begin with, take 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 breaths and let each of your bones everywhere fill with each breath. letting go of what you no longer need. This is a wonderful, wonderful exercise for building resilience, your inner reserves, and for remembering that on each exhale as we walk through life, we are letting go of what we no longer need, whether you're consciously doing it or unconsciously. It's a natural human process. So I'm going to rest back here for 6 or 8 more breaths, just breathing in and exhaling and letting all of my innermost sanctums, my bone marrow, all of my bones fill and be nourished. And I invite you to notice the sensations. Bring your curiosity and your inner awareness and notice the sensations that are permeating throughout your being now. Having taken this 10-15 minutes to slow down, drop deep inside, and to refill your inner energy reservoirs, your bones. Chinese medicine, they talk about the bones as the holders of your reserves. Yeah, and how when it's cold outside like it is here, it's our time to sink in, fill our inner energy reservoirs, and get ready for when things warm up in the world. Good. Good. And take one more moment to notice, what does it feel like to be you now compared to when we began? Good. Good. And bringing your awareness back to your breath, to the rise and fall of your chest. Noticing, being curious about how much more of your inner landscape you're aware of and what sensations you're aware of within your inner being. Having taken this time, set the intention to purposefully, mindfully refill with who you are. What would nourish you most? And when you're ready, you can let your eyes open. When you're ready, you can stay with this longer if you want to. Yeah. And have a good week. Enjoy.